Hi, everyone. It's Miss Hakvari in the library. I wanted to tell you a bit about the book Saving Red by Sonia Sones. This book is from our teen issues section, so it deals with a lot of topics that are realistic, that are real life. And what's one thing that's sort of unique about this book is the whole thing is written in verse. So I scanned the first few pages because I wanted to just start out by reading a few pages of this book to you. I really like reading books in verse. I feel like the pace of them goes pretty quickly and it pulls me into the book pretty quickly, which I like. So I'll tell you a little bit more about what this book is about in just a minute, but I wanted to start with how this book starts. Why am I out here in the middle of the freaking night wandering the streets of Santa Monica looking for homeless people when I could be lying in bed watching videos of babies eating lemons and soldiers reuniting with their dogs? Because I need 4 more hours of community service this semester, that's why. And I need them by tomorrow morning. I know, I know. I shouldn't have waited till the very last minute, but isn't that what the very last minute is for? I mean, if God hadn't wanted us to wait until the very last minute, he wouldn't have created it, right? Unfortunately, this morning when I explained that to my freshman seminar teacher, she just laughed and said, Molly, if God hadn't wanted us to meet deadlines, she wouldn't have created them. And you've known for months now that every student has to complete their community service before winter break. Which is why I am out here freezing my butt off at 11:30 at night with a clipboard and a tally sheet and a pen that only works when you wring its neck, roaming the streets with my faithful dog Pixel and 250 other volunteers, all of us helping the city take its annual homeless count. Which is sort of like being on a scavenger hunt, only much less fun. Not at all fun, actually. I mean, I knew there were people living on the streets of Santa Monica. You'd have to be blind not to notice them. Though until tonight, I never really focused on them. In fact, I tried really hard not to focus on them. Whenever I saw someone sleeping in an alley or picking through a trash can or trudging along in taped up shoes, I looked away and hurried past them. Not because I'm one of those spoiled, self centered teenage girls whose idea of undurable hardship is having a broken fingernail, but because, well, because seeing those people stirs up all sorts of stuff in me, stuff I don't like to think about. So, we've read just a few pages, but we know quite a bit. We know our main character. Her name is Molly, and she is out on the streets of Santa Monica at night, right before winter break, trying to finish up some community service. In the course of that night, she meets a girl called Red, a girl not too much older than her. So Molly's in high school. Red is also about that same age. And Molly's really struck by Red. Red seems kind of carefree in spite of her circumstances. She has kind of an unusual take on life. She loves to dance. And Molly has a lot of questions and kind of wants to get to know her. So even though in the part that we read, Molly talks about how she's uncomfortable with the homeless, she's kind of drawn into helping the homeless through Red and wanting to help her. And specifically, the more she learns about Red, the more she learns that Red is estranged or cut off from her family. And with the holidays coming up, Molly really wants to find a way for Red and her family to get back together. So that's what Saving Red is about. It's about Molly trying to save Red. And so if you like books in verse, if you like books about real life issues, this book might be a good fit and you might enjoy reading it.